If you haven't guessed already, we're at Old Fort Niagara today, and with Museum Week coming up, we're going to talk a little bit with Bob Emerson, who's the executive director, about all of the amazing activities that Old Fort Niagara has to offer.
Well, welcome to the Old Fort. This fort was originally started in 1726, so it contains the oldest buildings in all of the Great Lakes. So it's a great place to come, and we're also an outdoor living history museum. So you're going to see some things here that are pretty exciting.
So the blazer has come off, and I'm here with Wally, the resident blacksmith, and he's going to teach me how to make an S-hook. All right.
Now, what you want to do is take the bellows, arm in your left hand. You want to take that in your right. Now you want to pump the bellows. You're going to get that iron up to about 16 to 1700 degrees.
Under the watchful eye of Wally, I got to hammer out the beginning stages of an S-hook. He eventually had to take over and finish up, but with the ease of a trained blacksmith, he completed the piece, turning it into something that was completely useful.
So I can imagine that life at the fort is incredibly difficult. So we're standing where they would, go to sleep. Tell us about how that all worked.
Well, this is a guard room, so there were about 20 soldiers, French soldiers, staying in this room. There are 10 bunks, absolutely no privacy. You can see the bunks here along the one wall, just people literally crowded together, cheek by jowl.
We've been invited to the bake shop with Pat Rizzuto. Now, Pat, tell us how this all works.
Okay, well, first of all, I wouldn't be here in the 18th century because the French only had men at Fort Niagara. Women weren't allowed to be here. Bread was very important to them. It was their staple. It was the only thing that was actually made for the soldiers, that they didn't have to cook themselves. They also got a ration of salt pork.
That does not look appetizing.
No, it doesn't
whatsoever.
look appetizing. You would take your peas and you would take your pork and you would add water and you would make like a split pea soup.
So next time you sit down for a nice meal, make sure you remember that
Yes.
what you're eating is a luxury opposed to salted pork.
Along with all of the living history you will see, you will also have access to a traditional museum that includes many artifacts found right on site. The most interesting piece has to be the flag that was originally flown right above the fort. My day spent at Old Fort Niagara was pretty awesome. Being outside surrounded by history and getting to talk to people who were passionate about that old fort was inspiring. If you're looking for something to do this Museum Week, Old Fort Niagara absolutely has my recommendation.